Tragedy at La Quinta, the Saritha Ramaraju case. In the heart of Santa Ana, a chilling tragedy unfolded. A mother, consumed by despair, allegedly took the life of her innocent son. This is the story of Saritha Ramaraju and the devastating events that led to a La Quinta Inn and Suites becoming a scene of unimaginable horror. Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. On March 19th, a frantic 911 call pierced the morning calm. Saritha Ramaraju, 48, confessed to the unthinkable, the murder of her 11-year-old son, Yatin. Her voice, laced with anguish, painted a picture of a mother driven to the edge. Police rushed to the La Quinta Inn and Suites, their hearts heavy with dread. Inside room 233, they discovered a scene that would forever haunt their memories. Young Yatin lay lifeless, the victim of multiple stab wounds. Amidst the horror, a stark contrast emerged. Disneyland souvenirs scattered around the room. Mickey Mouse ears and colorful trinkets served as a cruel reminder of a promised joy now forever tainted by tragedy. The juxtaposition was jarring, a symbol of innocence lost. A large kitchen knife lay nearby, its blade stained with blood. Investigators later confirmed it was purchased the day before, a chilling premonition of the horror to come. This ordinary object had become an instrument of unimaginable violence. Yatin had been dead for several hours before the police arrived. The silence of the room spoke volumes, a testament to the finality of the act. Time had stood still, marking the end of a young life. Ramaraju, overwhelmed by guilt and despair, attempted suicide by taking pills. Her desperate act was a final, tragic echo of the events that had transpired. She was rushed to a local hospital for treatment. After receiving medical care, Ramaraju was booked into the Santa Ana County Jail. The cold reality of her situation began to sink in. She was now a prisoner, facing the consequences of her actions. The murder occurred during what was supposed to be a joyous 3-day trip. A visit to Disneyland, a child's dream, had been promised. This trip was meant to create lasting memories, but it became a nightmare. The Disneyland trip was a promised escape, a brief respite from the turmoil in their lives. Little did Yatin know it would be his last. The magic of Disneyland was overshadowed by impending doom. Ramaraju had temporary custody of Yatin during his spring break. This precious time together was meant to be cherished, but it was marred by the shadow of a bitter legal battle. The custody arrangement was a temporary truce in a long-fought war. A complex legal battle with her ex-husband had been raging for months. The conflict had escalated, creating a toxic environment for everyone involved. The legal proceedings were a constant source of stress and anxiety. The couple had divorced in 2018, but the separation did not bring peace. Instead, it ignited a new chapter of conflict and animosity. The divorce was a catalyst for years of legal wrangling and emotional turmoil. Ramaraju and her ex-husband had been in conflict since last year, their relationship strained beyond repair. The constant fighting had taken a toll on their mental and emotional well-being. The conflict was a relentless storm, battering everyone in its path. Yatin was scheduled to be returned to his father on the very day of the murder. This looming deadline may have been the breaking point, the final straw that pushed Ramaraju over the edge. The impending separation was a source of immense stress. Ramaraju is a Virginia resident, far from the familiar comforts of home. She was isolated and alone, facing the weight of her troubles in a foreign land. The distance from her support network amplified her feelings of despair. The Orange County District Attorney has charged Ramaraju with 1 count of murder. The gravity of the accusation hung heavy in the air. The legal process had begun, and the stakes were incredibly high. She also faces an aggravated charge of personal use of a weapon. This additional charge underscores the brutality of the crime. The use of a weapon elevates the severity of the offense. If convicted on all charges, she faces a maximum sentence of 26 years to life in prison. The prospect of spending the rest of her life behind bars loomed large. The potential consequences were devastating. The prosecutor described the act as a senseless cruelty. His words echoed the sentiments of a shocked and grieving community. The act defied comprehension, a violation of the most fundamental bonds. The prosecutor emphasized that a child's life should not be a casualty of parental conflict. His statement served as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of unresolved disputes. The child's life was sacrificed on the altar of parental animosity. Ramaraju is currently in custody without bail, deemed a flight risk and a danger to the community. The court's decision reflected the seriousness of the charges against her. She remains incarcerated, awaiting her fate. Her next court appearance is scheduled for April 17th, a date that marks the beginning of official deliberations in the case. The wheels of justice are turning, slowly but inexorably. The legal process will unfold, revealing the truth behind the tragedy. This date marks the beginning of official deliberations in the case. The court will begin to examine the evidence and hear arguments from both sides. The search for justice will commence in earnest. The case is expected to be a high-profile trial, attracting national attention. The details of the crime are disturbing, and the legal battle is sure to be intense. The public will be watching closely as the case unfolds. The legal and social communities are appalled by the events. The murder of an innocent child has shaken the community to its core. The sense of shock and disbelief is palpable. Prosecutor Spitzer stated that a child's life should not depend on parental anger. His words resonated with many, highlighting the importance of prioritizing the well-being of children. Parental anger should never be a justification for violence. He emphasized that conflict should not override love for the child. The love for a child should be unconditional, a guiding force in all decisions. The child's needs should always come first. The prosecutor expressed deep sorrow over the loss of the child. His words conveyed the profound sense of grief felt by the entire community. The loss of a young life is a tragedy that affects everyone. This case serves as a somber reminder of the fragility of life and the devastating consequences of unresolved conflict. It forces us to confront the darkness that can reside within the human heart. The tragedy of Yatin's death should serve as a catalyst for change. We must strive to create a society where children are protected from harm and where parents are equipped to resolve their differences peacefully. We must work together to prevent such tragedies from happening again. Let Yatin's memory be a call to action. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health issues or experiencing a difficult family situation, please reach out for help. There are resources available to provide support and guidance. Don't suffer in silence. If you are feeling overwhelmed or having thoughts of harming yourself or others, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 988 or text HOME to 741741 to reach the crisis text line. Your life matters, and there is help available.